So in this video, we are going to do one more example of completing the square to find vertex form and the vertex of the parabola. And then we're going to look at a different way to find the vertex of a quadratic. So there is another way of finding the vertex, and it is a little formula you can memorize. So we're going to do both of those things in this video. All right, so first of all, to review completing the square, we notice that we have a quadratic in what's called standard form, and we want to change it to vertex form. So first of all, we need to get the 3 away from the first two terms. So 3x squared divided by 3 is just the x squared. And then for the second term, minus 6x, divide that by 3, you're going to get 2x. Then leave a space for what you're going to add to the equation. Then on the outside, you're going to add 1 from this 1, and then you're going to subtract whatever we are adding into the equation. Okay, so now we want to complete this square to be, notice that it's minus 2, and so half of that would be minus 1 squared. So our completed square is x minus 1 squared. Okay, so think about what number would go in this blank. Let's see how that goes. Okay, it's -1 times -1, so it's +1. We're always going to be adding something here, even if this middle sign is negative, because it is squaring that negative. All right, now remember that it's not actually -1 over here. The trick when A is not not 1 is we need to remember it's actually 3 times 1, so we're really subtracting 3 here. Okay, so this part is completed, and then all we have is +1 minus 3, so that is -2. So notice that our vertex is located at 1, -2. That's h, k. And our a value is 3 from the original equation or from this form. So that's a vertical stretch. Okay, another way to find the vertex of an equation from standard form is to use the equation h equals -b over 2a. So remember that the vertex is h comma k, right? So h is just -b over 2a, and remember the original standard form of the equation that we're using these a's, b's, and c's from is f of x is equal to ax squared plus bx plus c. Okay, so we have the a and the b right in standard form of the equation. The k, the easiest way I think to find the k is just to plug in what you get for the h coordinate, plug that in for x, and find the y coordinate or the k value. So that would be the f of the -b over 2a. And we're going to see that in action, so that part makes a little more sense. There is a formula for the k, but it's a little bit harder to remember, and I think it's really just easier to remember just the -b over 2a and then plug it in. Just more successful that way. All right, so let's take the same equation that we had above so that we can make sure that it turns out right. So I'm going to rewrite that equation, 3x squared minus 6x plus 1. Okay, my a value is 3, my b value is -6, and my c value is 1, correct? So to find the h coordinate of the vertex, I just do -b over 2a, and that would be something that you would memorize. There's really not, an easy way to calculate that, to find that, so you would have to memorize that in order to be able to use it. All right, so -b over 2a would be negative of -6 over 2 times 3. So that would be a 6 over 6, in other words, 1. Okay, notice that that does exactly line up with the vertex we calculated the other way. All right, now for the k value, we're just going to plug in the value. So k equals the f of 1. Okay, pause there and think about that. Okay, so this is the h coordinate of the vertex, right? So in other words, here's vertex. We already know the first coordinate is 1. To find the y value, just plug the x value into the equation. So we're doing the f of 1. So in our equation, that's 3 times 1 squared minus 6 times 1 plus 1. Okay, I'm plugging in 1 for the x squared and the x value. Okay, so I'm getting 3 minus 6 plus 1, and that is, let's see, -3 plus 1, so -2. Okay, that's exactly what we got before in our vertex, of course, because it is the same equation. So it's just another way we can find the vertex with and avoid doing the transformation work, avoid completing the square. Okay, then of course the a value is actually the same in standard form and in vertex form, so the a is still 3. Okay.